She appeared at the fire station just before dawn. Thin, trembling, her teeth swollen with milk. The firefighters on duty noticed her immediately, the way she paced near the door, looking back toward the woods, then at them, then back again. Something about her desperation stopped them mid-conversation. This wasn't a lost dog. This was a mother trying to tell them something. Portland, Oregon. Late October 2024. The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days. Speaking of stories that need to be told, make sure you hit that subscribe button so we never miss another rescue like this one. But to understand what brought her to that fire station door, we need to go back 48 hours. 2 days earlier, someone had driven down a logging road 15 miles outside the city and abandoned a cardboard box. Inside were 5 newborn puppies, barely a week old, eyes still sealed shut. Their mother, a young Labrador mix the rescuers would later name Sage, had been left with them. No food, no water, just a worn towel and the instinct to keep her babies alive. Sage wasn't someone's prized breeding dog. She was young herself, maybe 18 months old, probably not meant to get pregnant at all. The puppies were accidents. Unwanted. And whoever had her decided the easiest solution was to make them all disappear. But Sage didn't disappear. For 2 days, she stayed with those puppies in that box, nursing them, licking them clean, keeping them warm despite the cold rain seeping through the cardboard. She barely moved except to shift her body around them, creating a barrier against the wind. No one heard her bark. No one knew they were there. Until Sage realized her puppies were running out of time. Dogs understand more than we give them credit for. Maternal instinct is powerful. It drives behavior we might mistake for random when it's actually strategic. Sage knew her milk was drying up. She knew the box was getting wetter. She knew her puppies' tiny bodies were losing heat faster than she could warm them. And somewhere in her tired mind, she made a decision that would save their lives. She left them. Not abandonment. Calculation. She tucked her nose against each puppy one more time, then stepped out of that box and started moving through the woods. Hungry, exhausted, determined. She walked for hours, following the scent of humans on the wind, the distant hum of a road. Her paws were raw by the time she reached the pavement. She didn't stop. When Sage arrived at Station 27 on Burnside Street, the firefighters thought she was just another stray looking for food. Then they saw her udder, full and leaking. Then they noticed how she wouldn't come inside, wouldn't take the food they offered. She just kept looking back, whining, pacing in tight circles. "She's got puppies somewhere," one of them said. Firefighter Marcus Chen had seen enough animal behavior in his 12 years on the job to recognize urgency. He grabbed his jacket, called his shift captain, and followed Sage out into the rain. She led him back. Not in a straight line. Dogs don't navigate the way we do. She retraced her path through instinct and scent, backtracking when she lost the trail, Marcus trudging behind her with a flashlight and a growing knot of dread in his stomach. 15 miles. That's how far she'd walked. 15 miles through cold rain to find help for her babies. When they finally reached the logging road, Sage broke into a run. Marcus heard them before he saw them, the high, thin mewling of newborn puppies calling for their mother. The box was soaked through, collapsing on one side. Inside, 5 tiny bodies squirmed over each other, blind and desperate. Sage leapt into the box immediately, circling her puppies, licking each one frantically as if counting them. Her tail wagged once. Just once. Relief. Marcus radioed for backup and called Portland Animal Welfare. By the time help arrived, Sage had curled herself around her puppies again, exhausted but watchful. She didn't resist when the rescuers gently lifted her and the puppies into a carrier. She'd done what she came to do. She brought help. At the shelter, the veterinary team worked fast. Newborn puppies are fragile. Hypothermia, hypoglycemia, dehydration can kill them within hours. The first 48 hours are critical for survival, and these puppies had just lived through 48 hours of hell. Dr. Linda Tran, the shelter's head veterinarian, examined each puppy under a heat lamp while Sage watched from a nearby crate, too tired to stand but unwilling to take her eyes off her babies. "They're cold," Dr. Tran said quietly. "Really cold. Body temps are all below 95 degrees. That's dangerous. The puppies, 3 females, 2 males, were wrapped in warm towels and placed on heating pads. For fluids weren't necessary yet, but it was close. Their tiny bodies were dehydrated, their skin losing elasticity. One of the males, the smallest, wasn't nursing well. Dr. Tran tube-fed him a mixture of colostrum replacer and puppy formula, her hands steady despite the stakes. If he didn't start gaining weight in the next 12 hours, his chances dropped significantly. Real quick, if you want to see extended footage of the rescue and follow these puppies as they grow, we've got that in the membership. Links below. Alright, back to the story. Sage, meanwhile, needed her own care. She was underweight, 38 pounds, when a healthy lab mix her age should be closer to 50. Her ribs showed through her damp fur. She had fleas, worms, an ear infection, and her paw pads were cracked and bleeding from the long walk. But when Dr. Tran approached with food, Sage barely glanced at it. She wanted her puppies back. "Let's bring them to her," Dr. Tran said. They set up a quiet recovery room with soft bedding, low lights, and a space heater. Sage was carried in first, then the puppies were placed beside her one by one. The change was immediate. She sniffed each puppy, licked them thoroughly, then lay down and let them nurse. Her body relaxed for the first time in days. The shelter staff stood in the doorway, silent, watching a mother reunite with the babies she'd fought so hard to save. "She walked 15 miles, one of the techs whispered. 15 miles in the rain. "And she found the exact right place to go," another added. "She could have stopped at any house, any business. She went to a fire station." Over the next 72 hours, the puppies stabilized. The smallest male, named Cedar by the staff, started nursing on his own and gaining weight. His siblings, Willow, Aspen, Maple, and Birch, grew stronger each day, their tiny squeaks turning into stronger cries, their sealed eyes beginning to show the first signs of opening. Sage stayed close, only leaving their side to eat or relieve herself, always rushing back as if afraid they'd vanish. The shelter documented everything. Sage's story spread through Portland's animal rescue community, then onto social media. Local news picked it up. Within a week, hundreds of people had called asking how they could help. Donations poured in, money for medical care, supplies for the puppies, offers to foster or adopt. But the shelter wasn't ready to separate them yet. Puppies need their mother for at least 8 weeks to develop properly, socially, behaviorally, immunologically. Sage needed time to recover too. She'd given everything to keep her babies alive. Now it was her turn to be cared for. The bond between a mother dog and her puppies is profound. It's not just milk and warmth. It's communication, comfort, teaching. Puppies learn how to be dogs by watching their mother, how to play, how to read body language, when to be cautious and when to relax. Sage groomed her puppies constantly, nudging them back when they wandered too far, responding to every whimper with immediate attention. As the puppies grew, Sage began to show her own personality. She was gentle, sweet-natured, eager to please. She loved the shelter staff but remained slightly wary of strangers, her protective instincts still sharp. She'd sit at the door of their room whenever someone new approached, watching carefully until she decided they were safe. Only then would she relax, tail wagging, ready for affection. Every rescue tells us something about what matters. This isn't just about one dog. It's about understanding that these stories represent something deeper about what happens when we underestimate these incredible animals. Speaking of incredible, make sure you hit subscribe so we can keep sharing stories that highlight the resilience and love animals are capable of. By 6 weeks, the puppies were thriving. Their eyes were open, their ears perked up, they tumbled over each other in clumsy play. Sage watched them with what can only be described as pride, standing back as they explored, intervening only when play got too rough. She was teaching them, raising them, doing what every good mother does. The shelter began the adoption process carefully. They wanted families who understood the commitment, who'd provide training and patience and love. Applications were reviewed. Home visits were conducted. References checked. This wasn't just about finding homes. It was about finding the right homes. Willow was adopted first, by a family with 2 young daughters who'd been volunteering at the shelter for months. Then Maple and Aspen went together to a couple who'd recently lost their elderly dog and couldn't imagine separating siblings. Birch went to a retired teacher with a fenced yard and a calm, patient energy perfect for a young dog learning the world. Cedar, the smallest who'd needed extra care those first days, was adopted by Dr. Tran herself. She'd fallen in love with him during those late-night feedings, and when the time came, she couldn't let him go. That left Sage. Applications came in by the dozens, but the shelter was picky. Sage had earned the right to an exceptional home. They wanted someone who understood trauma, who'd give her space to adjust, who recognized that beneath her sweetness was a dog who'd been abandoned and had walked 15 miles through rain to save her babies. She deserved someone who understood what that meant. They found him in November. James Keller, a wildlife biologist who lived on 20 acres outside Portland. Quiet, patient, experienced with dogs who'd been through hard things. When he met Sage, he sat on the floor and let her come to him. She sniffed his hands, his jacket, then settled beside him with a sigh. Just like that, she chose him. The adoption was finalized a week later. Sage went home to acres of forest, a warm house, a person who understood her. James sent updates regularly, photos of Sage running through the trees, sleeping on the couch, learning to play again. She was cautious at first, always checking where James was, needing that reassurance. But slowly she began to relax. By December, she was a different dog. Healthy weight, shiny coat, confident stride. She still had that protective instinct, barking when strangers approached the property, positioning herself between James and anything she deemed a threat. But she also learned to trust, to play fetch, to roll in the grass, to be young. James reached out to the families who'd adopted Sage's puppies. They organized a reunion at a local dog park in January. All 5 puppies, now 4 months old and massive compared to their newborn selves, tumbled towards Sage when she arrived. She recognized them immediately. The way she sniffed each one, the way her tail wagged, the way she let them climb all over her, there was no mistaking it. She knew her babies. The humans stood back, watching, several of them crying. This was the ending Sage's story deserved. Not just survival, but joy. Not just rescue, but reunion. Not just safety, but love. Sage's story matters because it forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. How many other animals are abandoned in places no one will find them? How many don't make it to fire stations or shelters? How many fight with that same desperate love and lose anyway? But here's what else it teaches us. Animals are capable of extraordinary things when they need to be. Sage didn't just wait to be rescued. She went and found rescue herself. She assessed the situation, made a plan, executed it perfectly. She understood that her survival meant nothing if her puppies didn't make it, so she risked everything to bring help back to them. That's not instinct. That's intelligence. That's love. Dr. Tran still talks about Sage when she trains new veterinary staff. She uses her as an example of maternal resilience, of the bond between mothers and offspring, of why the first 72 hours of a puppy's life are so critical. But mostly, she talks about her as an example of why this work matters. People ask me all the time if I ever get tired of it, Dr. Tran says. The abandonments, the neglect, the animals who come in barely hanging on. And I won't lie, it's hard. But then you get a Sage. You get a dog who walks 15 miles in the rain to save her babies. And you remember why you do this. Because they're worth it. Every single one of them is worth it. Marcus, the firefighter who followed Sage back to her puppies, still stops by the shelter sometimes. He brings donations, checks on the animals, asks about success stories. Sage's story changed something in him. Made him see animals differently. Made him understand that rescue isn't always about humans saving animals. Sometimes it's about animals showing us what courage looks like. The logging road where Sage was abandoned has been checked multiple times by local authorities. They never found who did it. No cameras, no witnesses, no way to trace the cardboard box back to its source. Whoever left that young mother and her newborn puppies in the rain is still out there, probably with other animals, probably repeating the same cruelty. But Sage survived despite them. Her puppies thrived despite them. And now, because of her story, hundreds of people are more aware, more vigilant, more willing to report suspected abuse or neglect. Change doesn't always look like justice. Sometimes it looks like awareness spreading outward, like empathy growing in places where it didn't exist before. Portland Animal Welfare saw a 30% increase in foster applications after Sage's story went public. Donations funded a new neonatal care unit specifically for mothers with newborn puppies. 3 other local shelters reached out asking for training on how to handle high-risk puppy rescues. Sage's impact went far beyond her own life. If you want to support rescues like Portland Animal Welfare and see lifetime updates on all these animals, membership info is in the description. Thanks for being here. James says Sage is the best dog he's ever had. Not because she's perfectly trained or obedient, though she's learning fast, but because she's present, grateful, aware of how close she came to losing everything and determined to live fully now that she's safe. She greets every morning like a gift. She takes nothing for granted. On quiet evenings, when James sits on his porch watching the sun set over the trees, Sage lies beside him, her head on his knee, content. Sometimes James thinks about that night in October when a desperate dog showed up at a fire station, soaked and exhausted and unwilling to give up. He thinks about how easily it could have ended differently. But it didn't. Sage made sure of that. She walked through rain and exhaustion and fear because her babies needed her to. And when she couldn't save them alone, she found someone who could. That's the power of maternal love. It doesn't quit. It doesn't calculate the odds. It just keeps moving forward, one painful step at a time, until help arrives or the body gives out. Sage's body didn't give out. She made it. They all made it. And now, somewhere in Oregon, 6 dogs are living the lives they almost didn't get to have, because one young mother refused to let them disappear.